I was in a call with someone who identifies as blind, and the way with a bunch of designers, and she asked them to describe their designs to her because she can't see them. Everyone got so nervous. They all claimed because they had never before tried to describe their designs to a blind user. What does a button look like? What does a card component look like? Where is the text located? What color is the text? Where is it located on the page? How many items over is the one that you're trying to have her access? And it just, I mean, it was an eye-opening experience. It was a beautiful experience for me. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but I also realized there is such a need for this to become a norm for us as designers, not a unique once in a lifetime experience. I'm testing with a blind user. This is amazing. It should be second nature that we default to that it's included in our design process. There are companies, there are resources, there are communities that can do this for us. We just don't currently, I believe, prioritize them as much in our process as we should.
So with that, going along that same train of thought, coach me then. If I had someone who was blind and said, "Help me understand," I say, "Yeah, well, we have this blue landing page," and they say, "Define blue." Like, how would you help someone in that case, right? Like you're saying, you're going through that process. Someone that identified as blind. What does that practically look like?
That's a good question. Now, colors, and again, I'm not going to claim myself as an expert on any of this, but I think colors is very interesting description. But for instance, and because I broke this current page that we're on using Wave, I'm going to go to, for instance, like my Gmail. If I again, this is honestly perfect and was something I would love to do on podcasts for listeners because if you're listening to this and you're not in YouTube, I mean, actually, I'm not even sharing my screen, but you can't see what I'm looking at on my screen. Right? And so, I mean, so I'm guessing many of you are Gmail users, but even if you are, or even if you're not, like, how would you describe the landing page of Gmail? So for me, I would go, okay, on the top of the page, there's a navigation bar. On the left side, there is a hamburger menu that expands out, or sorry, there's a hamburger menu that collapses and expands the sidebar. There is the Gmail logo, and then there is a search bar that will search your mail for you if you type an input in. There is filters that you can filter down that search for that are included in that search bar. And then to the right of the navigation bar, there is a help icon, there's a settings icon. Actually, I don't even know what this one is. There's a Gemini icon for AI features that I've never used. There is a 9.3 by 3 grid that has all the other applications that are included in Google. And then there is your user icon to manage and switch accounts. So something like that. Again, I'm not sure if that's perfect, but you start to get a feel for, okay, if
Yeah.
someone can't see my designs, I gotta start explaining them functionally, locationally, in a way that they'll understand, they can accurately navigate.
Yeah, and this is exactly what a screen reader does, is that it
Yes.
communicates to a user verbally what is on the page. And so like one of the things that I encourage people to do is to get a screen reader and to experience a page and realize that that developers have to add labels to these things. Like you mentioned like the hamburger menu button that was there. And it's like, you're describing what it looks like
Exactly.
in, but you should be describing what it does instead. And so like instead of calling it a hamburger menu for like visual people, it should be like, sidebar reveal button or
Hmm.
something like that. And so, this exercise of going through and needing to describe everything allows us to then kind of try and find better language to describe what's going on with the page. Like for instance, there are a lot of websites where they have like, skip to content or skip to navigation to like allow like people who are using screen readers to just kind of like skip over common things on the page. Like they don't need the header every time. They don't need to tab
Hmm.
through it. They just
Exactly.
need to
Yeah.
go straight to the content and listen to what it is.